Before we even get started with today's video, you know, the agenda at hand, I hope that you guys, you all had an amazing holiday. That's what it's all about, right? Spending time with friends, family, catching up, creating memories. And since we're talking about creating memories, we know that scent and memories just go together. They just do. So what we're talking about today, warm and cozy fragrances, right? And why, you might ask? Well, it's been freaking cold here, like unbearably cold, to the point where and many of you are probably going to be able to relate to this. You don't want to go anywhere. You just want to stay inside all day, just be cooped up in the house, all warm, cozy, with a nice warm blanket. Well, these 10 fragrances I'm sharing with you today will take place of the blanket because they will keep you warm and cozy. But then again, it's pretty dang cold outside, so you might need the blanket also. In any case, we're talking about warm and cozy fragrances today, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. If you are new here, my name is Dave. This channel is all about grooming and fragrance. If you dig the vibe, subscribe, hit the like button and notification bell. This way you stay in the know each and every time I upload a new video to this channel. I have warm and cozy, cuddly fragrances, don't get me wrong. That's predominantly what you were going to see here, but I did want to include a couple of fragrances, literally 2, that are more meditative versus the traditional, what you're accustomed to seeing and hearing about discussed in the YouTube world when it comes to warm and cozy. One more thing I want to get out of the way and mention here. Most of these fragrances you probably have not heard of yet, and that's what I'm trying to do on this channel. I am trying to give you things that you don't commonly hear see on Instagram, see on Facebook, and hear about here on YouTube. So with that, let's get started. Now this would fall into Zen, like the Zen category, like I was saying. This one comes from the house of Primera Parfum. This is Lavender Touch. So Lavender Touch was a fragrance that my girlfriend and I discovered at Scent Explorer, and we were both floored by the amazing aroma that came out of the first spray. So what you can expect to smell from Lavender Touch are these bright citruses, very lively, very creamy also, and contributing to that creaminess is the note of lavender, as you probably would have guessed. So the lavender here is more on the soapy side, and what it reminds me of is kind of like a day at the spa, where you could smell the botanicals and different things. It kind of has like this spa feel. Almost think of it as like a bath bomb. Okay, that's kind of what I envision when I smell this, or I should say where it transports me, the feeling, you know? This is a fantastic fragrance. It's perfectly unisex. Like I said, very soapy, clean, fresh, vibrant, and it's uplifting in a way, you know? And we know that lavender has been used in aromatherapy dating back to many years ago. We'll just go with many years ago. So as you can imagine, this is a very calming, meditative type of fragrance. And my girlfriend, Jessica, she loves to wear this one at work because it helps clear her mind and get her prepared for the day. So if that's not Zen to you, all of what I just said, then I don't know what is. But the first fragrance that I talked about was Lavender Touch, again from Primera Parfum. As my buddy Mr. Smelly would say, moving swiftly along, we're going to talk about the house of Masque Milano and Tango. Now, Tango, admittedly, compared to the rest of the list here, is more on the darker side. But let me tell you something. This stuff is uber sexy. I love this fragrance here. We're talking about Scent Explorer. I actually wore this night 1 at Scent Explorer. I love this freaking fragrance. We're talking about patchouli, cumin, rose, jasmine absolute is in here. This is a beautiful fragrance, and it's a very unique sort of amber because of its darkness, because of its complexity. It's not linear. You're not going to smell one thing for the whole ride and the whole duration of the fragrance. You're always catching these different nuances at different points in time, okay? And that's mainly what I love about it, other than the aroma itself. But let me tell you, this is perfect for a snuggle me, cuddle me sort of situation, because this is very sensual, seductive, and captivating. And the one thing I especially love about this is it's not a loud projector. Now, if you're like me, and when it comes to close encounters, really extra romantic, uber romantic, I don't even know. But anyway, you guys get the drift, right? Uber romantic sort of settings. I want something that sits a bit closer to my skin, where when somebody's coming in and they start to get close, they notice you. Boom. That aroma just hits them and it captivates them and it wants to pull them in, because that's what we want in those situations. And that's what Tango from Masque Milano does. And, you know, no surprise that Cecilia Zarokian was the nose here, because this is just a magnificent fragrance. And while we're on the topic of Cecilia Zarokian, why don't we just get the next fragrance out of the way too? And this comes from Nishane, and of course, it's one of the best, not ambers, but one of the best vanillas ever created, and it is Ani. I love this fragrance. I've told you many times, guys, that this is great to wear in the summer because of how the brighter elements pop in the summer. So if that's true, then you might want to ask me, well, then what do you get in the wintertime? Well, I get more of the vanilla, I experience more of the aromatic spice, and I get a whole lot of benzoin here. Yes, it is a sweet vanillic scent. I like to go easy on the trigger for those close encounter situations. I don't want more than 3 sprays. This has fantastic longevity, but unlike what Nishane is known for, I don't experience maximum projection from this. I get great projection, don't get me wrong. But after that first hour and a half, 2 hours, it sits closer to the skin, like right here, just not out here like most other Nishanes, right? Obviously, I'm exaggerating a bit there, but you get my point. It's enough to get you noticed and then some. What I love about this one here, the scent trail. The scent trail is just phenomenal, and you guys can see the massive dent in Ani. I just love this scent, and I think that if you are a vanilla lover, you need to check this one out. And if you already own this, you may want to check out the next fragrance that features vanilla here. So let's talk about that one next. The next fragrance here that I'm going to be talking about comes from Maison de Darius, and this one is called Notorieta. Now, this one here was introduced to me by my great friend Tara at Olfactive Files. I'm sure you guys know her. If you do not, pause the video, go subscribe to her, and then come back. This one is all about vanilla, caramel, and oud. Now, the oud here is what makes this fragrance so interesting to me. You can see the nice little dent starting to form there. Now, the oud here is of that charred wood, almost ashy tobacco styling of oud. You have contrasting notes of vanilla and caramel, which makes this fragrance sweet. However, this is not cloyingly sweet. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is not going to be a work safe scent, but I am going to tell you that I've worn this to work and I've received attention from many colleagues of mine that were asking me where they could get this from. It's that type of a scent where it's going to get you noticed. People are going to want to know what you are wearing, which makes it perfect for a warm and cozy situation, or, you know, an after date night situation. Do you guys still say Netflix and chill? I'm not up to speed with what the new wave crowd is saying, because I've been off the market for a long time, so I'm not hip anymore in that regard. I'm still hip, don't get me wrong, just not in that regard. But let me tell you guys, seriously, all kidding aside, you need to check out offerings from this house. It's going to be one that I am going to be talking more about in the coming weeks here, maybe even a month. But Maison de Darius, what a phenomenal discovery this house and this brand and this fragrance was in 2022. I'm talking like we're out of 2022, but at the recording of this, we're still in 2022. It's Notorieta. Next up here on the list, guys, is from a design brand that doesn't need any introduction anywhere. You know who the brand is. This is Tom Ford. This is Noir Extreme, and I'm going with the Parfum edition, and I'm going to tell you why. So I was going to do a comparison video between the two. If you guys really want that video, I'll give it to you. I'll bring it to you. What I like more about this fragrance, well, there's two things actually that I like more about this fragrance than Noir Extreme. First of all, I feel like they've carried the DNA over enough into the Parfum where it could be considered a true flanker. However, there's different things about this fragrance that I want to wear it and I like it more, you know, that I want to wear it more. So I'm gravitating toward this one a lot more than Noir Extreme, and that has to do with the spiciness. So you have an amped up dose of spices, especially cardamom here. I pick up on this distinct note of ginger. Now, it could be bergamot, but I think it's ginger, and I'm saying that and I'm making that connection because there's this note that comes across bright, fizzy, and has a really like a zesty zing to it where you could feel it just kind of snapping its way through the fragrance here. And they kept that coffee accord, which was crucial. I mean, for it to be considered a Noir Extreme flanker, you have to keep that coffee accord in here. The vanilla and the musks amplify that coffee accord that Noir Extreme was so famous for, and they did it perfectly here, and that's why I like it more. Plus, it's super, super sexy. And I'll tell you, you guys, if you haven't tried this, you need to get your nose on it, sample it, you know, at the very least. And the worst that's going to happen is you don't like it, and big deal. There's 6 billion other fragrances for you to try. But if you love spicy, vanillic fragrances with a little bit of kick and zest to them, I have a pretty damn good feeling you're really going to enjoy Tom Ford's Noir Extreme Parfum. So check it out. I'll give you another one that you're very familiar with. This is widely regarded as one of the best amber scents of all time. And I do have to agree with that. This is Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Grand Soir. I love this fragrance, okay? This is one that I was dying to add to my collection and sometime in 2022, and obviously it happened. And you know what? I'll admit it, I'm going to spray this one in the air just because I love that opening. This is a beautiful sweet amber, benzoin, vanillic fragrance. But it's done just right, where you don't have, it's not an overdose of vanilla, it's not an overdose of this amber accord. Everything works in harmony together, and it's just like a picture perfect amber if there ever was one, and I absolutely love this. And again, this is one of those fragrances that, because of its linear kind of approach that it has to the wearer, this is, I mean, it's pretty hard for somebody to say that they don't like the way you smell. Now, I will tell you, to me, so take this with a pinch of salt, to me, this comes across slightly on the mature side. If somebody was, you know, around 25 years old and they wanted to get into amber, they wanted to experience amber for the first time, I don't know, I would recommend this to them for sure, but I don't know if they would quite appreciate this. But guys, if you want to wear this on a date night, you are definitely going to turn heads, because I guarantee you that person that you're trying to attract, whatever person that they were with prior, was not wearing something as stunning as Grand Soir. That I could very much guarantee you. This next fragrance that I'm going to talk about is one that I consistently talk about because I love it that much, and I wish more people would explore this fragrance and its beauty. And the owner of the brand is well respected within the community and amongst the community, and that is Zoologist. And this is Chipmunk. You guys know, like, I love this fragrance, right? This stuff is great. This is another one that I would kind of consider more on the meditative side. I don't know, like, if warm, cozy, and I'm trying to seduce somebody, I don't know if this is really the first fragrance that comes to mind, but man, is this ultra calming and zen-like. Yes, to me. I'm a fan of nature. I love being outdoors. I wish I can go there right now, but I would like freeze to death in 20 minutes. But this fragrance here encapsulates nature at its finest. And if you can imagine being on a hike for approximately 45 minutes to an hour, you're out there, you're hiking up these mountains, it's fall time, and now you want to get back inside, you want to start maybe preparing something for dinner or something, and you go into your spice cabinet, and the first thing that you smell are cinnamon and nutmeg. That's what you smell here. You have the outdoors combination with some of those, you know, more aromatic spices like cinnamon, like nutmeg. Now, I'm not sure if nutmeg is credited here, but as it's wafting in the air here, that's what I'm smelling. So that's why I'm saying cinnamon and nutmeg. I know there's cinnamon in here, but nutmeg, I'm not too sure about. You have earthy components here. I cannot remember if they're using an animalic accord. So I'm not sure if it's castoreum or something like that, but it's lightly animalic, but then the musks come in, and I feel like the musk really tames down that animalic facet that this fragrance has. Guys, this is a very beautiful, elegant piece of artwork here, okay? I love this one, and if you haven't sampled it, try it. Just try it. You have nothing to lose. But if you're looking for a great Zen-type fragrance and you love the outdoors like me, you need to check out Chipmunk from Zoologist. The next two fragrances we are going to be talking about here are heavily influenced by the note of coffee. The first one coming from Theodoros Kalotinis. This one is Coffee Addict. If you know anything about the house, or you've heard anything about this house, you've probably heard about this fragrance. And whatever you heard about it that's great is true. This is one of the best coffee fragrances on the market because this actually smells like coffee. It's not a cute like little hit of coffee and then it disappears and we're calling it a coffee fragrance. No, that's not the case. For me, I'm a coffee connoisseur. I pick up here something on the darker side. So like a dark roast or an espresso bean. That's kind of the feel I get. And it smells like coffee when you freshly ground it. So I actually have my coffee grinder is right behind where I record here. And I can actually, I'm staring right at my coffee grinder. Now, if you ever pick up that bin after you're done grinding up your coffee and you smell it, that's what I smell here. That fresh ground coffee contrasted with caramel, with vanilla. Again, those two notes. This is like the perfect warm and cozy fragrance. I think this is perfectly unisex. Some people say that it leans more feminine. I say if you're a coffee lover and you love the note of coffee, check out Theodoros Kalotinis, Coffee Addict. Now, I said we're going to roll with two coffee fragrances back to back. So this one here, I'll be honest with you, is a lot more interesting than Coffee Addict. Not taking away anything from Coffee Addict. I love it. I think it's great. If you're looking for something that has a little bit more character about itself, is not so linear, is more on the complex side of things, check out Followed from the brand Kerosene. This fragrance, I love this thing. You have to be careful with this, and we're talking about warm and cozy. We're talking about kind of maybe, seductive settings and, cuddling up close and things like that. This thing is a freaking monster in performance. This will, more than 2 sprays, and you will overtake a room. No question about it. That's no exaggeration. This is ungodly powerful, and it smells great. For those folks that are familiar with Kerosene and you found Follow maybe a little bit too masculine, or there was something about the aroma that you didn't particularly care for, you need to try this because everything that you guys found not so great about Follow is fixed with Followed. So this one right here, there's coffee, yes. Again, there's loads of caramel here. Lots of vanilla also. When it dries down, this is the interesting part. So when this dries down, it almost takes on this, it reminds me of like a waffle cone. So if I could paint a picture here, imagine walking into a coffee shop, and I'm not talking about like a national chain, okay? So get those 2 most common national chains out of your national chain coffee places out of your head. Support small business and support your local brewer. What I get out of this is like opening the doors of a coffee shop when they first open and you smell all those fresh aromas of the baked goods. You can smell the syrups that they're going to be putting inside of these different types of artisanal coffees. Oh my God, it's so late I can't even talk. You get all the beautiful aromas that the coffee shops have to offer, and it's captured perfectly within this bottle, and that's why I love it. I think this is also a great bedtime scent. I'll give you a little pro tip, and this comes with experience of overspraying this fragrance a few times, but all you want to do here is 1 spray on the inside of your wrist, whichever one is fine, and let it go. What you want to do at night is bring your wrist closer to your nose and just smell it and continuously smell it, and you will start to feel yourself kind of do that. It'll help relax you and put you to sleep, which is funny because we drink coffee to stay awake, but here it's blended in a way where it has like the opposite effect. Guys, I could sit here all day, literally stand here all day and talk so many great things about Followed. It's up to you to check it out. I highly recommend you check it out. If you are into gourmands, this is one you need to try. If your significant other likes the smell of gourmands on you, check this one out again. That's Followed by Kerosene. The last fragrance up here I saved last or first, or however you guys want to do that. It's all this channel is about is like open for interpretation, you know. Anyway, this is one of my favorite discoveries again of 2022. I mean, this is like top 5. It's a very special fragrance. It's so special that I'm actually going to be doing a full review on this soon. This is from the brand Arquiste. This is Indigo Smoke. Now, for you guys out there that love tea, like myself, I'm a lover of tea. I drink 3 things consistently in this world, and that is water, coffee, and tea. Those are my 3 go-tos. And I love tea in my fragrances. And let me tell you, this is a special tea fragrance. So outside of tea, this is going to be blended with these. I have to spray this one, guys. I have to. Just please let me enjoy this moment here. I love that opening. It's bright, lightly floral. Then as the fragrance transitions, you get this beautiful incense black tea combo. It's a very masterfully blended perfume. Khalees Becker is your perfumer here, and she did a great job. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I really and truly do. This is going to be one that's more on the meditative side. Like I gave you, 2 other examples prior to this one here of more meditative type fragrances. And this is going to fit in that category of meditative fragrances because that's what this fragrance does for me. It puts me in that kind of meditative state, if you will. But yeah, guys, when you have the opportunity to, or if you want to wait for the full review, that's completely fine also. But definitely check out Indigo Smoke. I highly recommend this fragrance and suggest it to you. It's such a great, calming, sensual fragrance that doesn't have massive projection. It sits pretty close to the skin, and that's why I love it, because not every fragrance needs to be a beast. In this fragrance, when you smell it, if you think of beast mode, you would think to yourself, you know what? This fragrance, if it was beastly, it wouldn't make any sense. So this is just for you and somebody else that's going to be close to you. It's going to be one for you to enjoy. But that's Indigo Smoke from Arquiste. All right, guys, that ends and concludes my video on warm and cozy fragrances with 3. I said 2, I said a couple, but I gave you 3 because I love you guys that much that I wanted to give you 1 extra meditative fragrance for you. So if you loved today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff. Please share the video, help me out, support me even further. And hey, for doing all those things, I sincerely appreciate it, and I can't thank you enough. However, until we meet again next time, do me some more favors. Take care of each other, respect each other, love each other. I'll see you guys very soon. Once again, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves also. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.